Next we're going to talk about terms that we use commonly in a worship setting. The first term that we're going to talk about is dotted eighth delay. The dotted eighth is commonly used in worship setting as well as pop music. All it means is that every dotted eighth, or 1.58 notes, the delay plays. I'm going to illustrate the dotted eighth delay using the song Where the Streets Have No Name by U2. They made the dotted eighth delay popular. I'll show you without the delay and then with the delay. Now with the dotted eighth delay. Another thing to do is to also add in a quarter note on top of that. In most of the songs I play, I'm actually using more than one delay. And it can be any varying type of delay, but usually it's a dotted eighth and a quarter at different volumes. Again, using the same song, I'll play it with the dotted eighth and the quarter. The dotted eighth and quarter delay together produce a polyrhythm. If I strike one note, it's going to sound like this. The reason I like to use the eventide time factor is because I can use two delays on any algorithm. The next term I'm going to define is rakes. A rake is striking the strings in one motion. It provides a percussive sound across the strings, such as this. Instead of just one swift motion. And now we'll rake. As you can hear, the pick hits sequentially across all the strings. The next term to note is the diamond. The diamond is either a whole note or a fermata. So we're going to hold whatever note that we want to diamond on. So if we're getting to the end of the phrase and it calls for a diamond on the C chord, we're just going to hold the C. And usually, this is actually a great place to rake. So a diamond would just be simply a whole note, and hold it. Next we're going to talk about swells. Swells can be based around any of the chord shapes that we've previously used, in the caged or in the D-shape methods. To start with my swells, I usually like to use a long delay and a long reverb. In this case, I'm using a quarter note delay with a cloud reverb from the big sky. I'll give you a sound here. This provides a really long trail to whatever note I play and makes swelling sound a lot better. Let me give you an example of a swell on a D chord, second octave. One thing to note is that when I strum the chord, I should start swelling the volume pedal up almost immediately. I can control the depth of the swell based on how fast I will let my volume pedal go to max. Again, any chord shapes can be used in a swell, such as this. Another thing I use to make my swells a lot deeper is by using my Octave Generator. Using that same progression, it would sound like this. swell around any note in a chord and play along with the progression of the song. The next term we're going to take a look at is the sting and build. A sting is just one hard hit note or chord, and a build is a crescendo or an increase in intensity. Let's take a look at this. First I'll sting, and then I'm going to build on the D power chord. The next term we're going to define is banana peel. In this case, imagine a cartoon character who slips on a banana peel, and they kind of go up and then fall down. We use this when we like to end a song. The worship director will signal to us that we're going to end the song, and looking at him, we watch for his final cue. In this example, I'm going to go from a 4 to a 5, and then the banana peel will be on the 1. The next term we're going to define is palm mute. A palm mute is simply applying your palm to the front end of the strings to mute the sound. So if I play an open power chord, the sound rings out. But if I palm mute it with my palm, you can hear the difference. Next we're going to talk about the terms Trashcan and Shimmer. They're usually used at the end of a song. When we want to end a song big, we like to hold out and play the notes rapidly. If I'm going to end on a D chord, then I might play that note over and over while listening to the drummer hit his cymbals. It might go like this. The next term we're going to define is shimmer. A shimmer is like a trash can, but it's a little softer, usually used at the end of a down chorus or the end of a song, and used to swell back in to whatever note we've decided to end the song on. Let me give you an example using the D chord here. We're going to just basically shimmer or swell back in. The next thing we're going to talk about is the natural number system. The natural number system, in essence, is applying a number to the chord used. So if I have, let's say that we're playing a song in the key of C. My 1 would be C, 2 would be D, 3 E, 4 F, 5 G, 6 A, 7 B, and the C would be 1 again. There's only 7 numbers. Usually we define chord progressions in these terms. So a chord progression going from C to A to F to G would be a 1, 6, 4, 5. The 6 is always a minor. Same with the 2 and 3. 2, 3, and 6 are your minor chords in any major scale. 1, 4, and 5 are your major chords in any major scale. Your 7 is a diminished chord. That means that it's 2 minor triads built on top of each other. Hey, thanks for watching this video, and we hope that you found it helpful. Remember to check out our other videos in this series.